Hey, Flo here. Just getting started on a IRL maker building stream, whatever. So I am back in town, as I said in my previous stream about 3 days ago when I went on that hike. That hike was actually quite a successful stream. I was surprised at how good the signal was. I watched the replay and was pretty happy with it. Anyway, so I am actually back at my place, and I'm going to continue working on the shop because there's still stuff to do. As I mentioned in the previous stream, electrical has been installed generally. Like, there's plugs out in the shop now, so I don't have to run a goofy extension cord across the ground. So that's great. One step closer to being able to use it for its intended purpose. One big step. So the next step is to get insulation in there. I mean, there's a couple of things I could do, like I could finish the staircase and other projects like that, but I want to get the insulation in so that we can move things back into place. Because knowing that the electrical was going to be happening, I moved everything away from the walls so that my brother-in-law and his dad could install the wiring. And since I have it in that state of having good access to all the walls and studs, I'm going to take this opportunity to install the insulation. So that's where we're at, and that's what I'm going to be doing today. So I'm not really fully prepared to stream because this is a type of setup that takes a lot of gear preparation, and I forgot to set up my camera, so let me get that going real quick. Okay, so I'll head out to the shop and should be ready in a minute or two. I guess I just realized I have noise cancellation on. Often do when I'm doing shop streams, but today it's not really necessary because I don't think I'm going to be using any major power tools. So I could probably turn that off. Okay, where's my tripod? Did I leave that inside? Might have. Oh, here it is. Need a cord. Then I'll be ready to go. Well, sort of ready to go. I'll be ready to switch cameras, but I still need to do some preparation to get everything ready to start actually working. Okay. All right. So everything's pretty much still working with my mobile stream system here. You should have sound, should have video now. So basically what we did is you can kind of see the wire going across, that yellow wire kind of down the studs, or across the studs, I should say. Got a basic electrical box in here. If the few circuits don't need a whole lot, it's pretty simple. And then like on the ceiling, both down here on the main level and up in the loft, we have wiring coming down for light fixtures, which we haven't put in yet, mainly because we went to like the only store that's available for that kind of stuff in this area. They didn't really have any lights that we liked, so my dad and I are gonna, well, my dad or my mom or somebody will choose some lights and bring them over here, and my dad is able to install those, so do that together. Got these hooked up though. They're just plug-in lights, these shop lights over here. So that's cool. So technically I'm ready to go. Like I could start using the shop like for work or whatever, projects, etc. But like I mentioned in the starting of the stream, I want to get insulation set up in here. So we have just standard roll fiberglass insulation, Owens Corning, you know, the standard stuff that you can get anywhere. I think I calculated the proper number of rolls for the downstairs, the main floor of the shop. It's a little bit funky though, because the way they constructed the shed, these are not evenly spaced studs. So I'm going to have to do a fair amount of trimming of the insulation, which is going to be annoying and time consuming. I don't know, annoying is a relative term. It's annoying that I have to do that, because if they would have spaced the studs nicely, I wouldn't have to do that. So that's why it's annoying, but the actual process of doing it's not that hard. I'm not an experienced builder of any kind. I've mentioned this many times on my stream. I'm just learning as I go. This is the first time I've actually worked with insulation, so I just watched a few YouTube videos. It's very simple. I don't think you need a professional to do insulation in most cases, based on what I'm seeing. Of course, a lot of people just don't like messing with this kind of stuff, and that's understandable, but I feel like this is a kind of DIY project that just about anybody could do. Pretty easy. So that's what I'm going to be working on today. I bought this can of called gap filler, but it's basically very simple foam insulation. So there's several different kinds of insulation you can use. You can use the bats, I guess they're called, which more commonly called rolled insulation. You might be able to see down on the floor. I don't know if you can see that. Just the pink stuff that comes in rolls. It usually has paper on one side, has a moisture barrier, or it just helps disperse the moisture. I don't even know what this is here. This is weird to figure. Oh, I see. Okay, so it's a pipe, so you can squirt it in. That makes sense. Okay. Then there's spray insulation, which I think if you're doing spray insulation, you really should probably pay to have a professional do it. You have to have some pretty big machines that mix the chemicals and spray it on. You know, some people might spend the money to get that kind of setup, but not me. It's very expensive. So there's the pre-cut sheets. Also, like they look like foam core, you know, except they're maybe 1.5 inches thick or something. You can cut those and put those in there. There's actually several different kinds. There's fiberglass, and there's mineral wool or mineral rock something. Anyway, just to let you know, there's different things, and to let you know that I am using rolled fiberglass insulation, the pink stuff. So this can of gap filler that I got, I read some of the videos I watched. I don't know if I'm supposed to shake it. Let me see. Some cans are supposed to shake before you use. This stuff is for insulating around like power boxes and windows and stuff. You don't have to use very much. It expands, kind of like the expanding foam insulation that you can get, but it's just in a small can like this. You would never spray this in here like this to fill in a whole space. It's just to do small jobs like around power boxes and windows and stuff like that, just to keep there from being drafts in those areas. So that's what this is for. Let me see, shake vigorously. Okay, good. 60 seconds. So yeah, again, I don't want to pretend like I'm an expert or trying to sound like I know what I'm doing. This is literally the first time I've ever done this, so I'm just slightly informed because I like to be informed. I like to know what I'm doing to some degree before I start a project, so I like to watch videos and read up on it if I can. And that's what I did. These are going to be in the way, so I'm just going to set them aside. I guess I can go turn off the noise cancellation on my microphone too. So you can see that a few changes have occurred on the social stream plugin that I use for chat on all my platforms. Just as a technical update, I like to share details at the start of my stream in case later I am curious about what was going on at the time, technologically speaking. So they've made it. Steve Seguin has made tons of updates on his software since I've been streaming last. It's crazy how much can change in just a month's time. So one of the things is it's showing the who's watching on YouNow again, which I need to change that. But oh, speaking of that, I'm also streaming again on YouNow. Last month or a couple months ago, I stopped streaming on YouNow because they changed their technology to not work anymore. They made a really grievous error in their coding and made it so their website doesn't work for a lot of people. So I just stopped streaming there because I troubleshooted it and I found out it wasn't anything I could fix, something they had to do on their end, and randomly was curious about it and decided to try it today, and it's working again. So I guess I'll be back to streaming on YouNow for now. And as I mentioned, arena.tv apparently shut down, so I'm no longer streaming there. So I've been wanting to stream on beamstream.gg, I think it's called. I have an account and stuff, but I don't think I'm ever going to stream on that site. It has a very weird financial setup where you have to be sponsored by one of two companies, which is fine. I have no problem with that, but you have to give them your credit card number, which is very, very sus. I would not give my credit card number to any streaming website, especially an upstart that you don't know anything about. No, I don't think so. So I would be streaming on Beam Stream, but I will not be probably ever unless they change that stupid decision. In fact, I predict right now, today, that website will fail unless they change that. Not to be mean, but I've seen literally like a dozen websites come and go, and you can see one key decision that they're making that's like gonna make them fail, and you can predict pretty easily. They will fail unless they get rid of forcing people to use a credit card. Really stupid decision on their part. Anyway, otherwise, maybe someday I'll give it a shot if they make that change. Nobody is interested in giving their credit card information to a streaming website, and if you do, you might want to second guess that, or be a little bit more cynical, because the world is not a safe place online. All right, so enough of that tech talk. So first thing I can do, shake this a little bit more. I didn't really do a full minute's worth. I watched a video. I haven't actually watched a video of them spraying around the seams like this. I'm going to spray around the seams, and there might actually be a couple places I might consider using caulking, like around the windows possibly. I'm not sure how draft protected they are in the corners and stuff. I'm kind of guessing that this spray foam will do the trick as far as sealing in the edges of the windows, but just want to make sure there's no drafts, because that'll really defeat the purpose of your insulation if you have giant gaps in your walls somewhere. I think the people that put the shop together, built it, constructed it, whatever, as far as I know, they sealed in whatever areas they thought were important around certain boards and maybe even the windows. So I think it's probably okay, but if I see something that looks a little insufficiently done, I might go buy some caulk. It's probably good enough. I'm gonna go inside real quick and grab my drink and turn off the noise cancellation because I don't think it's important on this. It's the first carpenter ant I've seen in here. Hopefully they don't get in here too much. It's probably because I have the door wide open. All right, be right back. Okay, so I just came back and looking at my setup and noticed there was a weird border around the side with like little sound effects going on, but it's not. It wasn't actually supposed to do that. Something with the video program I'm using is cropping in on the sides. All right, where did I put my drink? No idea. Must have brought it out there already because I don't see it in here. All right. Oh, and I need to find some gloves. I don't know where all my gloves ended up, but we were doing a bunch of stuff over the last week or so when my family was here, and some of my gloves ended up in weird spots. My dad and I dug a trench for the electrical lines to be buried down across the yard from the house to the shop. And yeah, anyway, that was pretty hard work, actually. Digging trenches is one of my least favorite things to do because I have annoying physical limitations. It's really annoying. I get very almost sick if I do that kind of work. It's very annoying. But, I mean, it's annoying that I have that issue because I don't mind hard work, but it basically kills me if I do it for prolonged periods of time. All right. So, looking for gloves. I guess I can do this spraying stuff without gloves, but when I handle the insulation, actually I am going to handle the insulation right now because the reason I want to get started on unrolling this insulation is it takes a minute to expand. I think there might be a trick where you can sort of shake it or something, which I haven't tried yet, but it's very compacted inside the rolls that it comes in, and if you don't expand it, it's not going to actually insulate very well. So, as you can see over here, it's in this very compacted roll down there, and as you unroll it, it kind of starts expanding. But you can either like just sit there and wait for it to fully expand, or I think you can sort of fluff it up a little bit. So that's what I'm probably going to try. It is a real mess in here, and it's pretty hot outside too, but one of the things that they say on most of the videos or safety information regarding insulation is that you do not want to get it in your eyes, in your lungs, or really anywhere on your skin. So it's best to wear a long sleeve shirt and gloves and eye protection, and also you really should wear a face mask because you don't want to breathe that stuff in. So I think I'm going to play it safe and do all that stuff. Normally I'm not like wearing a ton of safety gear on my videos. I generally just do I wouldn't say the bare minimum, but I don't go bonkers with doing a million safety things. I'm not really trying to be an instructional in my videos, teaching people how to do anything. I'm more just sharing my journey. Okay. So do whatever safety measures you think are important. I'll mention some of them that I'm become aware of, but I'm not a building instructor or anything. So now I probably sound a little bit muffled because I'm wearing my face mask, but I'll probably actually take it off. I just wanted to make sure that was going to work. You can find my gloves. I bought another goggles because the ones I have been using they're good for what I was using them for in previous videos, which was like woodworking, because the dust from that stuff goes everywhere. But I think for this kind of work, I don't think it's necessary to do the fully enclosed goggles, so I might just do the kind that look like a pair of glasses. I think that would be sufficient. I'm trying to make some space here. I'm just moving stuff around, which is quite difficult because of how cramped it is in here. Actually, I'm going to put this chair up in the loft, I think. There's no room for it anywhere else. Okay, that was hectic. Alright, I still haven't found any gloves. Getting close though. It's weird, I thought I put them right here on the end of my shelf. Okay. A bunch of pair of new gloves, but I want to use some already used ones. Okay, let's see what else I'm gonna find, if I can manage to find my other glasses that I bought. There they are. About the cheapest glasses I've ever seen, but they'll do the job. Yeah, I actually started unrolling this insulation like, I don't know, half hour ago, and it still hasn't really expanded to the full 3.5 inches that you would sort of want to fill in a stud space in the wall. So I don't know if they'll ever just by themselves expand, like maybe you have to wait 24 hours or some crazy thing. So I'm definitely going to try that trick that somebody mentioned. You can just kind of shake them and they'll puff out. Hopefully that works. Man, it's pretty hot today though, so I'm wishing I didn't have to wear this long sleeve shirt, but like I mentioned, I think it's a good idea to save your arms from getting fiberglass all over them. Fiberglass, I feel like the jury is still out on that one. My theory, just my instincts tell me that it's not good for you at all. Like possibly even, what do you call that stuff? I can't remember what it's called. Oh, asbestos is like, they basically made asbestos illegal. Like it's one of the worst substances known to mankind that's used in the building industry. Like they used to use it all the time and everything, and then they just made it illegal. And for the last 40 years, we've been trying to get rid of it in our environment and buildings and everything. And you have to wear a hazmat suit to remove it. It's just literally, I mean, it may as well be plutonium. And I feel like fiberglass is probably not that much better. Considering how much safety warnings there is in using it, I feel like it's probably pretty bad stuff. And they just either intentionally covering up how bad it is, or they just don't really know yet. But I wouldn't be surprised if someday in the future they realize that, oh, this stuff is just as bad as asbestos. We'll have to pull out all our buildings, rip them apart, and get rid of all the fiberglass insulation. Can you imagine? Hey, no mill. I mean, when you think about it, it's literally tiny strings of glass. You get that in your lungs, not good. Not good at all. All right, so what I'm going to do, I need to go grab a tape measure. I'm really not prepared today. I'm just kind of winging it. I'm going to go get a tape measure and measure how tall these openings are, and I'm going to start cutting some pieces of insulation. I need to get these chairs out of here. They're exactly in the way. I feel like certain areas there's no innovation. like some areas of the world, not areas of the world, areas of human existence, like every 3 seconds they come out with a new invention that improves something about an industry or whatever. But I feel like building stuff, like building technology hasn't changed in like, I don't know how many years, but however long they've been using this pink roll insulation, it's not really changed. And that could be a good thing, like if you have the ultimate invention or product there's no need for it to improve, that's great. But I feel like sometimes they just get lazy, or there's a lot of red tape or something that keeps improvements from happening. Hey, Hi-Res. We don't have asbestos anymore. That's good. Yeah, I feel like, though, I have a theory. Maybe it's a conspiracy theory, but I don't think so. I think there's some truth to it that the fiberglass stuff that we use is not a whole lot better. But, I mean, I know it's better than asbestos, but they literally have massive safety warnings on it. And if you watch a video on handling fiberglass insulation, you're supposed to wear almost a full body suit. Like, you don't want to get it on your hands, your skin, anywhere, not in your eyes, not in your lungs. Like, it's not good stuff. So, yeah, I feel like they should try to continue innovating in that area to get a product that's not dangerous to handle at all.
Surprising. Fiberglass is the best we got. There must be another option.
Yeah, I agree. Anyway, let me go find...
I've seen some types of foam and whatnot.
Yeah, that's true. They do have foam insulation, and we could have chosen that, but it's a lot more expensive, and it's not nearly as effective. But, yeah, that is an option. Of course, they have the expanding foam, but that has some serious issues. I just watched a bunch of videos, and it's basically not recommended. You can't inspect anything, so like if you need to sell your house, they're basically going to request you to remove all that insulation because they can't inspect the beams for wood rot and other stuff because it's covered by the foam. Anyway, it's a pain. So I definitely chose not to go that way. Plus, you kind of have to do it professionally because the machines and the chemicals are not something that an average consumer has access to. So anyway. So basically, rolled fiberglass insulation is still the best way to go, at least in the United States at this time, generally speaking. And it's pretty affordable. I think it's the cheapest out of all the options. So that's good. Okay, I'm going to go get a tape measure and I'll be right back. But yeah, for the ceiling, we might actually get that sheet stuff. Like it comes in like, you know, if you know what foam core is, like you use it for project boards and art and you know, school and stuff. Just think of that, but like way thicker, like 1.5 inches thick or something. They make that kind of insulation.
Yeah, for sure.
And we might actually use that for the ceiling because it's going to stay in place more easily. Plus, I don't know. I'm just saying there's a chance we might use that stuff in the ceiling. Right now, I'm just doing the walls. Okay. So yeah, the job that I do right now is not going to be super effective because all the heat is going to escape out of the ceiling still until we get that done. But the main reason I'm doing this right now is so I can have the walls be essentially done so I can start moving stuff back out of the center because it's a total mess in here. I can't do anything. Unfortunately though, after the insulation is done, I really need to sheetrock it or put some kind of covering over it before I start moving stuff around. Otherwise I'm going to have to move everything around again. But I don't have money for sheetrock, and I mean, maybe I could convince my parents to do that right now, but it gets really expensive buying all this stuff all the time. But thankfully sheetrock is not too expensive. It's like $15 or $16 a sheet last time I checked. So it's actually cheap, basically the cheapest kind of board stock that you can buy. And it's the most effective in for a variety of reasons. Okay, so we got 75 3/4. I'm gonna actually measure each one of these independently because I noticed that the measurements of this place are not consistent across the board. But these first two are gonna be 75 3/4. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna cut each section as I go because I don't have anywhere to lay this out and roll it out fully to let it expand. So I'm gonna have to cut each piece one at a time. So let's see, I need a board. I need a couple short boards that I can use as cutting boards. So let me grab that. The closer you can cut to... Be careful, yeah, thanks. The closer you can cut it to the actual length of your opening, the better. You don't want to stuff extra in there, and you don't want it to be cut short. So you want to cut it like exact. You know, obviously you don't have to go to the 64th of an inch or something, but you don't want to leave a gap, and you don't want it to be like extra long and just like kind of scrunch it in there. Watch some videos with some infrared analysis, and that's one of the things that you can do that makes it worse. Also, you want to cut it to the right width of your stud, from stud to stud. If it's a little wider and you just kind of squish it in, and they did some infrared analysis, and that's not as effective insulation. So it really needs to be pretty much exactly the same width and height as your opening between the studs to have the most effective insulating properties. So just going off what I watched in videos, I'm no expert, but that's what they have discovered, and I'll just do it that way. Okay, so I need to find a place where I can at least roll out this much. I wish I could do it outside, or I had a table that's not occupied, but I'm kind of cramped in here right now. So I guess I'll have to do it right here, which is annoying. Ooh, it's hot. I don't want to wear a long sleeve shirt, but you're supposed to. And I guess I don't want to wear a mask either, but you're supposed to because it's literally not good for you. I'm like, once again, wouldn't surprise me if it's not much better than asbestos. You're literally not supposed to let it touch your skin anywhere. It's like, how is that safe for use? It's crazy. And they recommend wearing a hat or something to keep it out of your hair and your scalp and everything. I mean, it's just literally, it sounds like poison to me, but somehow they've approved it for human use. Okay. I'm probably a little over dramatizing it, but they do, if you watch videos about the use of this stuff or read the warnings, it doesn't sound particularly safe. Alright, I need to get these cords out of here. It's totally in my way. Yeah, true. Have you worked with fiberglass insulation? This is my first time, so I'm just learning as I go. I watched some videos that were pretty helpful. I don't like to just jump into something without being fairly well informed. In fact, I try to feel like I know as much as the experts, by the time I'm done with my research, watch a bunch of tips and trick videos, whatever I can get my hands on YouTube. All right. I need more space to lay this out. I can't do it here. I need to maybe do it in this opening. You did? Cool. Cool. Yeah. I think some of this is overkill, but I don't see any reason not to be somewhat safety conscious with this stuff. Because I don't think the fiberglass fibers just blow all over the air unless you're really moving it around more than you need to. But it is possible, so may as well just play it safe. Okay. That'll work okay. I hate wearing masks. I despise it. I'd almost rather just risk the inhaling the glass fibers, but True. And that's honestly, a lot of the warnings that they put on products are just to save their butts. It may be relatively safe, but because it is possible that something could happen, they have to put every warning under the sun just so that people won't be likely to sue them for every possible situation. Okay. I bet if you took a poll of most fiberglass installers, probably, maybe a bunch of them don't even do any of this safety stuff, but whenever they do some kind of instructional video, they probably put on all the extra gear just to look like they're doing it properly. But it's kind of a pain. Okay. I think I'm gonna not wear this mask though, because this is one that I had been using already years ago, and it already smells like wood, like it's just been used too much. Just get a new one. I think I'll do just the basic COVID style masks. Hopefully this won't give anybody PTSD for remembering the stupid years of COVID that we had to endure. No, I'm not a mask type person. But all right. Obviously, this kind of mask won't be nearly as effective, but at any rate, it'll help a little bit. I need more room. The reason I'm just kind of floundering here is because I don't have enough space to work. Might put that camera up higher too, get a better angle. I don't think you'll be able to see what I'm doing. See if I can get that up here somewhere. Oh, shoot. I'm a moron. Blasted my phone on the ceiling. Let's do it that way. Hopefully my phone doesn't overheat being up there in the loft. Let's see where I put my gloves. Okay, so like this first opening as an example is way wider than the batting is. I think I'm going to skip that one and just go to this second one. I'll do that one later. Probably going to have to cut 2 pieces and put them side by side. Super annoying. Okay, so 75 3/4. I'm just going to double check that. Way too long ago that I measured that. I'm going to go just a little hair longer than that, just because the end of it might not be totally straight, so I don't want to have a gap in the bottom. And maybe I'd say just for personal satisfaction, I could probably go 1/4 inch more, so just do a straight 76. Should be fine. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I don't want to make a bunch of cut marks on my floor, so I'm going to use one board underneath, and then I'll use a second board as like a cutting guide. Ideally, the paper side would be up, make it a little bit easier to cut straight, but it'll be fine. So the reason you use a second board on the top is it's kind of compresses it down, so it's a little bit easier to cut. I wonder if I should get a one of my squares just to make sure I'm cutting it straight. I mean, I know I'm overthinking this. I tend to do that, but I like to do a good job at everything. If I don't cut it relatively straight, it's not gonna fit in there nicely, or there'll be a little tiny gap at the top or something. I think I can confidently cut straight enough. Okay. Measure 3 times, cut once. Yeah, at least 3 for me. My ineptitude at remembering numbers is pretty pathetic, to be honest. Pretty sad. What would be cool is to make some kind of template. I think what I can do is butt this up right against the bottom of this here, and then I know exactly where my 76 inches will be, and if it's the same on each stud opening, I don't have to like remeasure it every time. I think I might do that. Solid word, showing it's kind of ironic. Using a word to describe your inability, but you show an ability by using the word. I like that. Okay. Oh, your level of self-deprecation is off the charts, dude. Congratulations. It's like, how does a person that likes to self-deprecate accept a compliment like that? Okay. Alright, so I'm gonna just make a little mark. Thanks for the ice cream, man. Okay. I'm gonna spend a little bit longer in this beginning just to get my template set up. So once I have this measured, I should be able to cut the other ones considerably faster, but I'm just gonna put a pencil mark down there, or rather use this big marker, make it easier to see. I hate tape measures. I hate how floppy they are. Never been a fan. Okay, just get this out of the way. Alright, 76, right there. So there's my cutting template. So theoretically, all I should have to do now is put my cutting board right around there, roll this out, butt it up against the end there, and do a cut. Takes a while to set it up, but once I got it set up, I could actually bring my square out here too, but I think I'll be straight enough. I got one of these kind of cutters because you can pull them out as long as you need to. All right. Oh, I don't have my glasses on. Where are they? Super annoying. They're there. I don't know if these kind of glasses are going to do squat, to be honest. Like, okay, if something comes in like right here, it's going to block it, but stuff can float in from below, above. I don't know. I don't care. It might sound like I'm paranoid or afraid of this stuff, but I'm actually not. So one of the tips that I read online is you can kind of just shake it and it'll puff out a little bit, which seems to work pretty well. So they come with this, what do you call it, not gasket, but flange, I guess. It's just extra paper folded in, and the way they said to do it on the video I watched is to put it up at the top, line it at the top. I suppose you could even staple it at the top, but and then just sort of gently push it in there like that. You want to make sure that it doesn't sink down though. I might actually do that staple idea. The other thing I'm going to have to do is cut a little slit where this wire is going across, but I'll do that in a second. Let me get my staple situation figured out here. I have a staple gun. I don't know if I have staples that fit in there. I don't have one of those hammer style staplers, which are the most convenient for this kind of job, like way faster. So this is going to be a slow job. Okay. I take every opportunity I can to take the stupid safety gear off. I don't know if I can even find my stapler, but I'm going to try. I think I know where it should be, but I might have pulled it out to work on something. Okay, good. Found it. Oh. Thanks, Stu. Thanks for dropping by. Good to see you. Thanks for that ice cream as well. Have a good evening. Alright, so I already have staples in here, so I might just see if those will work. Yeah, I do not want to wear this. I'm tempted to just skip it. it makes me very miserable. I'm gonna go with all the other safety gear, but I'm gonna just try not to breathe heavily and get that stuff in my lungs, and just hope that it doesn't get airborne too much, because it's just too, I hate wearing masks, honestly. Okay, that'll be enough to hold it at the top. So what I need to do then next is cut a slot for that wire. Maybe I'll put a couple staples up in there, top there. Okay. So the way I saw somebody doing this online was they just cut like halfway through the depth, that wherever the level of the wire is. No, I didn't do that quite right. I think you'd want to cut it a little bit, let's see, higher or lower? Lower than the wire, but this will work. This is going to be fine. The next one I'll do it that other way. Yeah, this one will be stupid, but basically just kind of embed the wire. Kind of embed the wire in the insulation. You want the insulation to be behind the wire and in front of the wire. You don't want to smash it on the front of the wire or only have it behind the wire, because when you smash insulation, it loses its R value and isn't nearly as effective. So you want it to be as puffy and full as possible. The other thing I learned is that sheetrockers, which I'll be the sheetrocker, prefer it that you don't staple it over the studs like this. They prefer that you staple it on the inside, so I'm going to do it that way. And I think it's just so they can see the studs better and measure stuff, and it just makes sheetrock installation easier. So we'll just do it that way. I'm going to go through a lot of staples. And hey, itsy bitsy. Once again, it maybe be worth buying one of those hammer style, because they're like a stick about this long, and you hold it like a baton and you just like pound in the staples like this. Kind of like, imagine this being the stapler and you just go boom, boom, boom. Those kind of cool. I don't have one, and it might be worth buying one just to make this project go faster. I might go to the store tomorrow and see how expensive they are, and if they're just not that much, I might grab one of those. It would make the stapling go a lot faster, I think. And these kind tend to jam, and it's really annoying when they do. Yeah, it's just super hard to use this kind. That might be a priority on my list. Might grab one of those tomorrow. Tempted to go buy one today just because of how annoying this might be. One of the videos I watched said, don't bother getting one of those hammer staplers, because these are more versatile. You can use them for a lot of different projects. So may as well buy one of these and be able to use it for more than just like roofing or installation. But I kind of disagree at this point. I'm already annoyed at using this thing. I'm gonna probably go buy one of those other kinds. Unfortunately, I let that pull down from the top because I wasn't really paying attention. I pulled it too hard and ripped the staples off the top. So there might be ever so slight gap on the top of that one, but the main reason for that is I didn't plan in advance where I was going to cut the slot for this wire. Next one, I'm just going to measure approximately where that is and cut it on the floor before I put it up there, and then I won't be doing any weird arrangements as I go. But overall, fine. You learn from your first one and do it better next time. It'll be fine. It's just not perfect. Okay, so let's roll out my next section and let's make sure it's 16" on center. So you can get, most insulation comes in either 16" on center or 24" on center. In my case, the studs are more or less 16 inches on center, but some of them are funky. Like maybe you can see from up there, this one is obviously shorter, so I'll have to cut the bat for that one. And then that first one, you might not be able to see it, but over here, it's like way wider than normal, so. Anyway, I'm going to focus on the low-hanging fruit, the ones that are properly spaced. Then I'll go back and do the complicated ones. I'm also going to skip the ones that have like power outlets and switches for now, and I'll do those later too, just to make it go a little bit faster to start. I predict this is going to take a few days just because of my learning process, and yeah, but that's fine. I'll get it done eventually. Alright, so here's my template. All ready to cut the next piece. And this time, I'm gonna improve my template and make a mark for the slot that I need to cut for this. So let's see. Let's do 32 inches. Let's see, where did I put that marker? So 32 inches from this side. Right about there. So what I'll do there is just, I don't want to cut all the way through, so I'm not going to use a board. I can already feel what I think is probably that fiberglass in my wrists. Stuff is nasty. It's hard to keep your sleeves and gloves together, and little bits can get in there if you're not paying attention. Okay. Trying to cut through about half of the layers, not all the way through. That should be close enough. Don't forget to kind of shake it so it expands out. I think I will do that. Steepling at the top, even though it didn't work last time. It's just because I was messing around with that. I was cutting that slot. Alright, so where's my slot? I made it purposely a little bit lower than where the cord is so that I can, essentially what I'm going to do is pull a flap like that and put that flap behind the electrical and then pull it down underneath, just so that I'm sure that the insulation is behind and in front of that area. I think I might cut that a little bit shorter than 32 inches, maybe like 30 inches. Okay. I can actually physically see with my eyes this stuff in the air, so I can definitely see why it was probably a good idea to wear a mask. I have real problems with masks, honestly. What I probably could do is put a fan over there in the corner to just be blowing the air that way so that anything that gets in the air is pushed out of here. But having that fan on might increase the amount of stuff that's in the air. I don't know. I might get used to this stapler. Like, yeah, I think the other kind would be faster and easier, but it's already feeling better than it did when I first started. Getting the hang of it. We'll see. If they're like $20 or so, I'd probably buy one, the other kind, but if it's like $50, there's no way. It's not worth it. Alright, got the first two done. I don't know why that keeps pulling the top off like that. That's kind of weird. I think I am still tight enough on the top that it's not a concern, but it's kind of annoying. Looks like something about the way I'm doing it is pulling them, stretching them out. It's kind of weird because I'm measuring for the opening, but it looks like it's a little bit longer than the opening somehow. A little bit extra at the bottom. I don't think it's going to hurt anything, but it's just kind of weird. Okay. Change my template to make it a little bit easier to get around those electrical cords. I don't think it's just my imagination. I can already feel pokey things in my hands, so it's crazy how much this stuff gets straight on through your gloves and sleeves, whatever. template's not going to work well now that I have the... I mean, I'm going to fill in this gap, so I'm not going to be able to see my template anymore. So I might, I think I'm going to screw down this piece of wood that I'm using for a cutting board, and then I'll just make the mark on this side of the sheet, or the roll. Sounds like a good idea to me. Just need to find a screw. Not sure where I put those. I think they're drywall screws, kind of the right length for something like this. Just try to find one. The shop is a complete disaster because of having to move everything away from the walls. I didn't do any kind of organization when I did that. I just like moved it away, and so finding certain things is going to be a nightmare for a while until I get this project done, and then I can start arranging things into the final positions where I want to have them. I do not see that box of screws anywhere. Have to hunt a little bit longer. Oh, here they are. Next search is for my impact driver or drill, battery to match. Here it is. Going to temporarily screw that into the ground, into the floor, so I can know that it's not going to move. I'll probably end up kicking it. Then I'll transfer my template mark over to this side. There we go. Keep putting stuff in weird spots. Okay, then I use my, wow, I can totally feel that going through my sleeves. That stuff is nasty. Cut my place for the wire. So I'm basically making a flap like that, and that part goes behind the wire. Theoretically. Don't forget to shake it so it expands out. That's probably the worst part when I shake it. It's probably putting all sorts of fiberglass into the air. Put this behind the wire. technically, I don't think you actually have to staple it because it's a friction fit, so it's basically going to stay there just because of it's wedged in there kind of. But I'm going to staple it just to make sure that there's no major gaps between it and just make sure it's even. Plus, I don't know, maybe over time it could sag down or something. So it's probably a good idea to staple it, but I feel like it's maybe not totally necessary. All right, 3 down, 500 to go. Actually, don't know how many there are. There's a lot. Looks like I'll get, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, I don't know how long these are, 13. I don't know. I don't know how many spaces I'll get out of each one. I guess I'll find out. I got a lot of rolls, but I kind of calculated it, so hopefully I got enough, but I can always go grab more if I need to. Looks like I might get about 4.5. Oh, I almost forgot to shake it. I don't think that's working. Must be jammed. Need some kind of tool handy. Get these unjammed somehow. Or maybe I'm empty, I don't know. Looks like I might just be empty. No, I see some staples in there. It's like stuck or something. Try it again. Nope. I think it might be empty. It's hard to tell. There's a metal thing in there that looks like staples, but I don't think it actually is. I guess these will work. It's just a box I had laying around. No, those definitely won't work. That's for like electrical cord stapling. I know I have some staples somewhere. Might take me a while to find them though. Oh, joy. One thing I should probably get is whenever you put two pieces of this rolled insulation together, the demonstrations I saw online had this special pink tape that you tape them together just to have a continuous vapor barrier. Plus, if you're having two, side by side like this, they probably won't really stay in place unless you tape it. So I might add that to my list of things to consider buying, because I think I am going to have to do some of that taping and pairing up pieces to fit different gaps. What was I going to do? Oh yeah, look for staples. Shoot, I have no clue. I'll try to find some. I don't think I need to buy more staples because I'm pretty sure I have some. Okay, I found the Rubbermaid bin where this should be in. Might be my imagination, but I feel as though my lungs are a little bit agitated, like very, very, very slightly. The thing is, though, my sister had a cold, my niece had a cold, so I could, get that cold, but I don't know. Ideally, I should be wearing a mask with this stuff, but I almost feel like wearing a mask makes me sick, so I don't really want to unless I have to. I wonder if you can use standard staples in these. If it has to be some kind of stronger kind or wider kind. It's possible I don't have the right staples for this job. I have a ton of staples, but might not be the right ones. We'll just try these, see what happens. Whoops. These are pretty standard. I think these might be a little bit thicker than the kind that you use like in an office stapler, but so maybe they'll work. Give it a try anyway. Not how you load them, or do you put them in here? I don't even think these will fit. No, definitely not. So apparently these are too wide. That sucks.
Did your friend come to visit?
Oh yeah, man, it's been a big wild ride since that last live stream. My friend came to visit for like 3 or 4 days. Then I went to the city because I needed to catch a plane to New Mexico, and I stayed there for about 8 days. And then when I came back, a few days later, my sister was on her way over here. So I had to come back here and meet her, and then we put in the electrical. That whole thing took about a week, and yeah, I don't know. It's been a lot going on since that last live stream. Okay, apparently I need some special size staplers to fit in this thing, so that sucks. I doubt I have the right ones. So that might kind of change my plans for today. I wonder if I can get to the store that would have those before it closes. I might just have to cut this stream short and go do some shopping because I don't think I have what I need. I need staples. I want to maybe get one of those other kind of staplers. I'm surprised these don't fit though. It's shocking. Definitely don't fit. Way too wide. Alright, yeah, I need to remember all the things I was thinking to get. Let's see. Staples, stapler. I feel like there's one other thing I was just talking about. Might have to watch my replay to remember what it was. But yeah, I should probably head out and go see if I can get to the store before it closes. Otherwise, I'll have to wait till tomorrow. I mean, I'm probably not going to do any more of this work today. So I'm going to wait till tomorrow anyway, but I don't want to wait till tomorrow, then have to go to the store tomorrow. That'll just further take out of the time that I have to work on stuff tomorrow, so that sucks. That's what I gotta do though, because I don't think I have staples, and I think that's pretty important. So I guess, I don't even know what time it is. Oh yeah. Shoot, I think the store might close at like 6, and it's almost 6, so I don't even think I can get there in time. But yeah, I'm gonna head out because I can't really continue without staples, so thanks for dropping by. I will see you around.